What is going on, my friends? My name's Corrupt, and today we are here breaking down for you Zap Quake Mass Miner. This video is really going to help you guys improve and understand the use of this strategy. We're mostly going to be going over base identification, and then also what you guys need to do when creating the funnel in order to send your miners into the base. Now, one of the first things that you need to understand is, what are you going to Zap Quake? Well, in this example here, we want to look at where the CC is. That's extremely important. And we also want to take a look at the value that is near that CC. Like you see here, you'll see that we have the enemy clan castle, the 2 expos, and the multi-inferno pretty close and in range of just using a zap spell right here. That's all we're doing, and that's how simple this strategy really is. So you're going to see that we are basically going to be taking some time here, scouting the base out, and then we're only going to use 6 lightning spells. You don't need 7, you only need 6, because you're not going for the Eagle Artillery. After you take that down, though, you see that we get a lot of really good value from creating the funnel. Typically, what you're going to be trying to do is clear out this side here. This is what you're trying to do. So what you're trying to do in this part is you're just trying to clear out as much value from the left side here. So you want to make sure that you're clearing out as much as you can from the base. You're just carving out an area here. So what you're doing on the topmost side is basically clearing out the other section. So if I kind of put this into perspective like this, so we're going to be using a Sui hero on this side, using the Ice Golem to tank for our heroes. And then on the opposite side, we're creating this part of the funnel with our Siege Barrack. And that's what we're doing on this side. So now we have easy pathing into the base with our miners. That's what you need to think about when you guys are using this strategy. Since we already have this area completely blocked off, it really allows our miners to kind of move themselves around the base, and that's very, very important. So you got to really think about the differences between the pathing and all of that. So on this base here, you'll see that we've got a lot of really good stuff, and we're still going to get more via taking care of this area down here. Taking care of this area here is definitely big because it keeps the miners to go in kind of like this into the base. And also another thing that I want to point out is there aren't too many storages, you may notice. So this is the perfect base for a mass miner. And this is really where if you fear about the enemy clan castle, then this is 100% a great method to take care of that and get right through the base. You have 3 heal spells to deal or to use with the miners, and you're able to get a lot of value that way. You'll see that what we're doing, in order to get the queen into the inside, we're using a super wall breaker, which you did mention earlier, or that I did mention a little earlier. You did see that through the first part of this attack. But the biggest part that I want you guys to really notice is the pathing of these miners. Once that siege barrack creates a solid funnel, or if you need to use the king there, you can. After you've done that, though, you've actually got a solid entry into the base with your miners. Once you've got that, you're able to easily allow yourself to get in. We're using the heal spells, making sure that everything is staying alive as they go through. We're popping the warren ability when we're trying to get right into the core of the base. That's really everything about the strategy that you really need to know. And this is just one example of multiple bases that you can use this on. And I've seen this a couple times in this war, and it's definitely extremely powerful. So it's definitely something to kind of take in terms of into consideration. It's a really strong style or really strong attack, and it can definitely work on a lot of different base designs depending on the clan castle placement. So that's something that you guys need to be very wary of. If the clan castle is not near any big pieces of value, then you may not be able to use this strategy. Other than that, though, this still gives you guys a very solid explanation into really using this strategy. So let's go ahead and move on into a couple more examples using Zap Quake Mass Miner. So we've got our second example, and the biggest thing I want you guys to understand is the placement of the clan castle, and sometimes it can dictate where you're going to attack, and not just that, but you can really take a look at what's surrounding it. On this base here, the biggest thing is you may think that there's no value here. There's no Inferno, no Expos. You're not really getting much. You're getting a Wizard Tower, Air Defense, Bomb Tower. You're not getting much. So why would you ever use this? Well, pathing is another big thing. If you clear this entire section out right here, you've got a dead zone that is going to keep the miners in. Now, if you further that by getting rid of this part of the base here, if you get rid of that part, then you have actively carved out this area of the base, and the miners can no longer go in this direction. They are going to stay on the inside of the base, and that's extremely important to know. So that is one of the biggest things you guys really need to understand. On top of this, we're going to be using a Sui Queen on one side and the King on the other. So this is definitely something that I would say is very important. Using a split hero, so if you don't have access to a siege barrack, then this is definitely going to be right for you. You're going to see the use of the lightning spells taking care of the Wizard Tower, the Air Defense, and the Bomb Tower, and then using that Quake spell to deal with the Clan Castle after using all of those lightning spells. Another thing that you may notice is the use of the Sneaky Goblins. You'll see that I believe we have about 2 or even 3 on there. That's going to be guaranteed to take that down. So definitely the Sneaky Goblins are very good at carving out a funnel for your attack. And that is something that you guys need to kind of think about, because sometimes that is going to dictate where your king is going to walk to. On this one here, our king is going to work down this way. Notice how we have already cleared a large amount of value. We've already been able to sort of get our miners kind of into this sort of area of the base when they drive in. And that's exactly what we're seeing. We're making sure that these miners can get right into the base, and we've got good pathing for them as they're entering into the base. Notice how we're going towards the Eagle Artillery. So we're going to be popping the Warren ability as we get kind of into the core, but we're also healing them up in order to make sure that they are staying alive. What's really nice about this is we have 3 heal spells still available throughout the entire attack. So we're making sure that we're using those in order to protect them against the splash damage defenses like the multi-infernos. So it's very important. And that is why sometimes you can get some value by using the heal with the Hog Riders as well. And some of these Hog Riders will also benefit from that. So definitely there's a lot of different things to think about, but this strategy is very powerful, and it's definitely something that you guys should think about using as you go through. Very similar to how you guys were interested in the Yeti Bomb into Queen Walk Mass Miner. This is definitely something that you guys should practice. Very powerful, and you guys saw from my last video when I showed this one, it is also very, very strong. So definitely, this is something that you guys need to learn. Let's go ahead and take a look at another example using this strategy. Now this base is a little weirder than the other ones. So in this one here, the entire clan castle is very much lurable. A lot of the time, a lot of players will, especially now in this current meta, they're trying to move the CC away from key defensive buildings like air defenses, air sleepers, multi-infernos, stuff like that, including the Eagle as well. But this strategy can really do a lot of work. Again, this strategy doesn't work on every single base design, but if you can get some sort of value in terms of pathing, that is 100% going to be your go-to. So what you'll see is we are going to be dropping in the Quake spell and then also the lightning spells right after that to take care of the clan castle and the 2 expos. After that, we can start our funnel. What we're doing, though, is we're going to be clearing out a couple things. We have a super wall breaker, you may notice. We're going to use that super wall breaker to get right in here. So what we're doing is we're carving out this area of the base by using the super wall breaker and the Sui hero. This is basically what we're going to be trying to get. So for the most part, our pathing here, our funnel, is going to be pretty big. So we're mostly, for the most part, getting all of this out of the base. And that's a lot of value here for this entire attack. By clearing this entire area out, we have already created a solid funnel for our miners on one side. Now, if you don't have access to the siege barrack, I would definitely suggest saving the king for that side in order to allow you to get a little bit more value than just using, nothing over there. So using the king over there is definitely going to be more preferable. And you can see from here is that after we've done that, we're just using a couple camp spaces of, using something like an archer or a minion in order to kind of carve out an area of the base just to continue the funnel, but also to make sure that we're getting some percentage as well. So now you'll see that we have our straightforward pathing kind of into the base here. And as everything kind of moves this way, that is how we're sending in our miners. So we have our miners now kind of moving straight into the base here. And again, the biggest thing is making sure that you're able to use the warden ability over them. So we are going to be healing them up and using that warden ability in order to make sure that they are getting right into the base, right into the core, making sure that they're going to be able to use that warden ability in order to make sure that they are staying alive. Getting through the rest of the base, though, is no problem, though. You can still see from here, Hog Riders definitely are a huge help. Another big help is keeping some of those miners, especially a big group of them, in the core of the base and letting them go through the base as a group. And on this one here, it's just easily working themselves right through. A big group in the core just allows them to easily wreck through the rest of it. And that's exactly what you guys want to try and do. With miners, you're trying to look for the base designs where you can keep the miners in the base, but on top of that, you're looking for bases where they don't have many storages. Sometimes you may see base designs where they have a lot of storages in the multi-inferno compartments, I believe like you see here. Wasn't a problem. And it's just the biggest thing that you need to look for. You need to have easy pathing with miners. For the most part, most of the time, miners will not die down if they have easy pathing. If they don't and they start to split, that could definitely spell trouble for your attack. So you got to make sure that you're keeping that in mind when you're using that. Other than that, though, gives you guys a very solid look into using gives you guys a good example of using the Zap Quake Mass Miner. Let's give you guys one last example to really teach you guys and learn this attack strategy. Now, in this final one, we're going to be taking a look at something, again, the attack does not entirely go to plan, but it's still a very good example of learning how you guys can really take advantage of a lot of different base designs. One of the biggest things is being where the clan castle is. You'll see that what we're going to do is we're going to drop in the lightning spells. We're trying to weaken some of these defenses here. We're trying to take down the Grand Warden altar as well. So what we're doing is we're just weakening these and we're making sure that we're able to get some sort of pathing and value from that lightning spell. So what we're trying to do here is just carve out this area. That means that now our miners will not go on that side. And then once we carve the other area here with the siege barrack and the king, we have an easy, straightforward path into the base for our miners. Now, unfortunately, he does have the ice golem be sprung. So it doesn't really allow him to get much value from his queen. So if he did use something like a barbarian or something like that, it would have been a lot more. Other than that, though, you can still get a lot of really good value, even if your entire attack does not entirely go to plan. And this is just a great example of that. You'll see that some of the miners do shift over to the expos and over to the areas that we did miss, but they don't completely take it out. And another thing is we want to make sure that we're using that warden ability, like I've said throughout the entire video, as you enter the core. Now, the miners will be pulled somewhat into the queen area, but some of them won't, as they will be taken down. Other than that, though, you see that the use of the heal spells in order to kind of get through a large portion. Even though the warden goes down, we still have a couple miners here going down to take care of the expo and the air defense there in order to kind of clear that section. And then as they're kind of moving through the base, we're taking care of a lot of different buildings. Now, even though it has the possibility of thinning out, we're still getting a lot of really good value. And that's one of the biggest things that you guys need to understand with this. So even though that this strategy doesn't entirely go to plan, it was still a very dominant attack. Again, not every attack is going to be completely dominant. and this one ended up not being so. However, it did get rid of all of the defenses, meaning that the P.E.K.K.A. and the archers could easily get through the rest of the back end of the base. That's really all it is, and this strategy is very simple. So if you guys are down to really try this out, let me know in the comments below how it really what you guys think of it. Definitely let me know if you guys are enjoying that strategy. And other than that though, guys, that is going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, remember to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Remember to hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. It would be greatly appreciated if you guys did definitely hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss any of the content here, whether it be a guide or even an explanation on a certain thing. Other than that though, we're also going to feel free to go ahead and follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Trovo and Twitch. Those links are in the description below. Along with that is my community Discord server. Feel free to join my community Discord server. The link is in the description, along with all the Discord servers of the clans that I cover within this game. Other than that, though, guys, that is going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.